Good to see you guys. Thanks for coming to see us. Hands up if you're from America. Hands up if you're from Italy. Where are they? Are they here?
Oh.
Anyway, cheers. Great to see you all. Now you can start, Paul.
Oh, good. Excellent. Everyone's here. Thank you very much. Well, look, thank you for joining us. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being with us all today. It's been great to see you again. So how's the last 12 months been?
It's been pretty cool, hasn't it? Pretty easy, no stress-free.
As you know, last year when we were here, we had our mooring, so we were picking up rhubarb plants while we were here and going back with all the plants around Llangollen, but obviously we got a bit bored with that. And yeah, we've got a boat which needs to move, haven't we? So yeah, we've been we on the Llangollen Canal, which was fab and was quiet, and lots of other people that we knew there, lots of friends. And we're now gradually, we've gone north, so we've come back down south again.
Yeah, we're down at Stourport on 7 at the moment. So we've done quite a few miles since we left Llangollen just after Christmas, wasn't it?
But you know, this is what happens, we change our minds about things. You know, we thought we were on the mooring, we thought we were happy, we thought garden was it. But 4 months later it wasn't, so. But that's the beauty of this life, isn't it? You can do what you want to do.
And as long as you're with me, it's okay.
Oh, shucks. This is real life.
Always a charm. And you've been down the, I always give myself words I can't pronounce, the Llangollen Canal. And is it as beautiful as everyone says it is?
Oh, man alive, it's fantastic. First time I ever went on the Llangollen Canal was when I was 10 with my mum and dad. We took the boat across the Pontycasylty aqueduct. And I remember it, and I get really emotional about it, like I know. And but seeing it again, years later, it's just absolutely stunning still. And then the fact that this Pontycasylty aqueduct still stands for 200 years is just incredible. And it's testament to British Waterways Board and Canal and River Trust as is now, but it's still standing there. And it's, you know, it is part of the what's it called, the World Heritage, World Heritage Site, isn't
and
it?
it takes so much money to sustain it, doesn't it, and keep it going. And I think they've got a fund going at the moment just to keep it repaired and keep it up and running. So, you know, we just need to all keep on, don't we? Keep giving what we can to keep it going and open for everybody. It's beautiful. But yeah.
I'm just glad you pronounced it rather than me. And have you got any top tips for anyone who's looking to go there? Is there anything, any sort of...
Just do it, just go.
And go in the winter.
And go in the winter, yeah, it's quiet. Yeah, it is beautiful.
Summer can get really, really busy. I guess it's more beautiful in the summer. You know, you can get into down to the rivers a little bit and walk. But it gets so busy with boats, doesn't it? The mooring can be difficult. We've done it both and loved the winter up there.
We had Christmas in the well, not in the basin, we were outside, weren't we, at Llangollen? And it's such a lovely place to be for Christmas.
Beautiful, really beautiful. Yeah, it's got everything.
Hi guys.
Excellent. And would it be safe to say that that's one of your favourite canals, if not the famous, but the most favourite, sorry?
It's one of our favourites, but our favourite canal, we always say this, don't we? It's the canal we're actually on, isn't it? It's, but now we're on the Staffordshire and Worcestershire Canal. That is absolutely stunning. We did it 6 years ago, and you forget, you know, you do, but we've gone down it this last month or so, and it's absolutely beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Stunning.
Yeah. And the villages and the towns all around the canal. Scenery, when you think last year we were in Yorkshire and it was all hills of sheep, completely different now, but the scenery is just as beautiful, isn't it? Just everywhere you go. We've just come via the edge of Wolverhampton, and you think that you're on the edge of a big city and it's not good, but it's beautiful. The canal is still beautiful wherever you are, isn't it? Usually.
I don't think we can compete with it just yet.
Not even me.
Yeah, but the around Kinver, it's absolutely stunning, isn't it? You know, these sandstone cliffs that come right onto the edge of the canal, and at one point you're just a narrow boat and a half wide, isn't it, to get through? It's just
Yeah.
amazing, incredible.
Brilliant. And what plans for this year? The rest of this year? Any sort of big journeys? Any
The
sort of,
plans today or yesterday or tomorrow or just...
the plans today are to finish this and go to the bar. But after that,
No, I mean, yes, a week ago we were planning to go over towards Cambridgeshire on the levels, but we understand that that's silted up and it's not easy to travel at the moment, so we changed our mind and we were heading Utel because I lose track of where we're going.
At the moment, we're at Stourport on 7. We want to go to Birmingham because we love it. It's my hometown. We're going to visit some family. Then we're going to go, hopefully, down to Stratford on Avon. There's a lock being repaired at the moment, apparently, which is going to take some while, but we'll wait. On the River Avon, on the River Severn, down to Gloucester, back up to Worcester, and then who knows from there.
I don't think that will happen. I think it will change.
It'll probably
Just
change,
that,
yeah.
yeah, I'm sure it will change, but that's it, yeah.
that's one of the advantages of doing what you do, isn't it? You can kind of just change your plans.
Yes, yeah. I was saying to somebody earlier on today, the times we've got to a junction at Canal and tossed a coin, and gone wherever.
But we never argue, do we? That is true,
We do.
isn't it? We don't. we never have a disagreement about where to go, do we? Because everywhere, as we said, everywhere is beautiful. So the only thing that we did want to do is go down to the Basingstoke Canal, but you can only do that summer months, so that'll wait till. Is that right?
No, you can do it all year round, but you're only allowed there for 30 days, aren't you? So you leave that till the summertime next year.
Yeah.
So heading right down south then.
Yes.
Get on. And for those of you who know, we put out some social media posts about some questions, and people have written in and asked some questions. So these might be slightly random, but they're written down. Here we go. What's the next one? When you moved onto a narrowboat, did your hobbies change?
Actually, we had more time to do hobbies, haven't we? Because we've stopped working so much. So I'm doing a lot more art than I ever have done, and you're weaving your scarves, which are available on floatingourboat.com.
You bought me the weaving loom after we decided to buy a boat, so I wasn't a weaver at all. And then you bought the loom because it folds up. But I was a beekeeper before, I couldn't bring the bees with me, could I? So something had to change. So, and you've always been interested in art, but you weren't really doing very much, were you?
No, so I've got right back into that. And the only thing we have for me and my art, because I like to chuck paint around, I don't like to sit there quietly, and there's not much room for doing that. As you'll see, if you went on our boat, there's paint splashes here and there and everywhere.
More Jackson Pollock.
We've got,
Brilliant, thank you. And here's one. What are your top tips for starting a garden whilst living on a narrowboat?
Oh gosh. The first year I tried to grow everything. I had courgette plants and spinach and cauliflowers and everything. But you've got two problems. Number one, obviously, the space, or three, the space. If it gets too tall on the roof, Rich moans like mad because he can't see where he's going. So you can't. I have seen boats that are covered, the roofs are covered, but when you're cruising, you can't see the bridges, so you've got to keep it low. And so I learned pretty quickly, you can't do that. And watering, of course, is the problem. If you're eating the vegetables, then you can't really, or we don't like to use canal water. So it's all right for the flowers, but we haven't got water. So we've really toned it down now. And I would just say keep it simple, grow what you like. If you want to grow food, salad stuff is a must.
Fantastic, yeah.
And tomatoes. But just grow what you want to grow, but keep it simple because it can become quite difficult.
And was it? I know you were kind of on a permanent mooring a while back, and you had your own garden. Was it a real bind, leaving all that?
Yeah, I did cry, didn't I? But everything's a compromise, isn't it? Everything in life to me is a compromise, and we couldn't have a perfect garden, a lovely garden, and cruise. It just couldn't happen.
We really miss gardening, don't we?
Yeah.
We miss putting spuds in the ground, watching them grow. But as Fran says, it's a compromise. What would we rather be doing? Cruising 60-foot steel tube in a ditch, or growing vegetables in the garden?
And it's the same with you and your art. That's a compromise. You've had to start doing different kinds of art. Other artists will know it's different. It's difficult. Everything is difficult. But it's worth it. It's worth worth battling out with it. Yeah.
And again, and what advice would you give to someone looking to build their own boat? That's a good one.
Don't. Have somebody build it for you.
That was a nice easy one. And are there any changes that you would put to Laura Maisy now, or is she the perfect boat for you, or is there a couple of tweaks?
We're quite easy going, aren't we, when it comes to we weren't picky about what we wanted on board. We liked the shape and the interiors of Elton Moss's boats, didn't we? And the build quality was great, so we were more or less kind of happy to go along with their existing plans. And we tweaked a few things, didn't we? We changed the bathroom around a little bit. But we're more than happy. We'd like a bit more storage space because we've been on board this boat now for 3 years. We've been cruising the canal system for 6 years. So you accumulate stuff, don't you? And every now and again we're taking bags down to the charity shop, aren't we? Because we can't hold it.
And Rich goes a bit green every time we go past a boat that's got a big world deck.
Oh man, I love one of those boats with a massive long tug deck,
We did actually have a conversation with Llangollen Canal recently about the possibility of stretching our world deck, but it appeared that it's a really difficult thing to do.
You're popping, sorry. That's it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, it's a really difficult thing to do to stretch a world deck,
Yeah.
get any part of a boat, I think. So no, it's not worth it.
It might not be our forever home, this boat. We might in the end, decide that we'd like a wide beam with moorings on a river or something. We don't plan ahead. It might be tomorrow we see the perfect wide beam boat or the perfect narrow boat. We just go with it, wouldn't we?
But we've got no plans to change anything on this boat at the moment.
I'm quite glad to hear it. We did a filming project on it a couple of years ago now, wasn't
Yeah.
it? And just spending that much time on it, you could see how much you guys loved it. So so good. The good news is they're not sort of planning on changing it. Another question: do you wish you could ever be less recognisable so you could walk around shows and go to the bar?
No.
No, definitely not. Right there and that one.
It's great. We're all talked out, aren't we, to be
We are,
honest?
yeah.
Today's been fantastic. We've met so many people. It's been wonderful. And we just thought we'd nip to the bar to get a drink, didn't we? And we got stopped about 3 times on the way. But that's the nature of the beast, We've made it what it is and we love it.
And if we haven't had time to talk to you properly, I'm really sorry, but we are still here tomorrow, aren't we, as well?
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Come and find us.
It is. It's quite when you're dying for a drink. But it's nice that everybody's asking you good questions.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah. Okay, more practical question. This one: how do you cope with muddy towpaths and dogs keeping your boat clean inside?
This is
Probably a question a lot of you want answered here.
Go on, you're the one that does it.
I think you have to be quite relaxed about it if you want to be completely house proud and have a pristine, sparkly boat. It is difficult, and you're going to get stressed. The dogs are going to be unhappy. So we have a big stack of old towels, and if the dogs come in muddy, they just literally get wiped down. We've got wooden floor, no carpet in the boat, so it dries, you vacuum, wipe the floor, and it's done.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the one that gets muddiest is Archie, and Archie loves to swim. So he often gets encouraged to go for a swim before he gets back on.
I think the key thing you said there was to be relaxed about it,
Yeah.
isn't it? You can't not get dogs muddy on a canal towpath.
No.
And it is. One of the things we've noticed over many years of being here is how many people do have dogs on board. And it seems to be that the two things go together quite well.
Yeah.
You've got to have a dog, and you've got to have a vlogging camera. There you go.
That's all you need now. Right. Let's go. Lost my train now. Question from someone. Do you find access to healthcare a concern or problem, or is it, or have you sorted that out? Well, you've got pretty sorted out.
We're just healthy.
Yeah, touch wood. We've only needed, I've only needed a GP once, maybe twice.
Yeah.
You've needed a GP once.
Yeah.
I've had an ambulance called out to me 3 times, but we haven't had a problem, have we?
No.
It's been fine. But
No.
we found that if we needed to register with a general practice, they can't refuse you. They have to register you. So if you get a receptionist that doesn't want you to register, you have to be persistent. But we haven't, touch wood, had any trouble.
We've had no trouble. No trouble.
Very healthy.
Touch wood, please. Okay, moving on. Have you ever had to stay somewhere longer than 2 weeks, and how did you manage it?
I don't think we have we? We've never had to ask for an extension of a stay.
I think recently we both had a bad bout of colds and coughs and we had to overstay our mooring stay. But Canal and River Trust are really understanding. You've only got to give them a call and tell them you've got a problem. But usually 2 weeks we can't.
We don't want to stay anywhere more than 2 weeks.
Yeah.
A week and we're ready to go on. You know.
Yeah.
Well, that's always good because I suppose your journey continues.
Yeah.
Again, it's well. Oh golly, what's the question now? Question for Fran: when are you going to produce your cookbook?
Where did all this come from? I'm not a cook.
Well, I certainly aren't.
No, Rich doesn't like cooking at all, do you?
No.
I don't know, probably never, because I don't consider myself a cook. My pleasure in cooking comes from making a meal out of what ingredients we've got. And when you're on a boat, that's a big thing. We can't look at a lovely recipe that calls for kimchi and something else, and you're stuck in the middle of nowhere. So my pleasure is seeing what's in the cupboard and making a meal out of it. Most of those recipes.
Boy, does she make a meal out of it.
You be careful. Most of those recipes are simple, quick to cook, and really suitable for narrowboat living or campervan living. So we do put them on the website, and I need to put more on there. But yeah, a cookbook, I don't know, I get asked a lot, but I'm not Fanny Craddock. Nobody probably knows who she is, do they? Yeah.
Hands up if you know who Fanny Craddock is.
That's our demographic for
More people than I thought, okay.
Do the washing up, Johnny.
Yes.
We are considering a book. We were invited last year to write a book about canal life and etc. And on the face of it, it was going to be a great idea. They wanted a 350-page book with pictures, etc. But the one thing that stopped us was, one, it was going to be bloody hard work, and two, they wanted us to cover items, subjects such as hiring a narrowboat and holidaying on a narrowboat. Well, we've never done that, so we can't write about it, and we'd have to research it, which I said to the editor at the time that would be infinitely tedious for us. So we decided not to do that. But we are toying with the idea now of writing our own book. Fran does poetry and haikus. I do a bit of art. You've been writing a journal every day of our travel since we started 6 years ago.
Every day that we move.
So we thought about a mixture of all three things. So is that a good idea? Yeah. So maybe we'll go ahead and do that.
But we had a
publish it in
hiccup.
6
We had a
weeks' time.
hiccup, didn't we, with the haikus, because
Yeah,
Rich
you had
got
a
me a remarkable tablet that you can write on. At the end of last year, I wrote every haiku down on the tablet, but I'm not a technical person. And a week ago, I deleted the whole lot. So all the haikus have gone. And I've got to start all over again. But yeah, we'll see. We're thinking about it. Come here.
Dogs want any input?
They haven't got a microphone, so.
Archie.
And do you, an interesting one, do you ever see yourselves living back on land in the future, or is...
Oh, we do, don't we? Torment ourselves with looking at cottages on land and little plots of land. But at the moment, I don't think so. We're more than happy. I mean, at the end of the day, we've got a lovely boat, and at the end, it is a floaty flat. You know, if we went on land and boards a flat, we've got people living next to us who we might not like, probably. And we can move our home to wherever we want, more or less wherever we want it to be, don't we?
I don't all the pros and cons. In fact, we wrote almost like a spreadsheet recently. We scored all the points of staying on a boat and moving back to land and the advantages and disadvantages of both. And it came out far in favour of staying on the boat.
Yeah.
we're just not interested in going back to that stationary land in bricks and mortar.
No.
And unfortunately, it's not easy in this country, is it, to buy a little bit of land and build yourself a wood cabin? Because that would be the thing that would possibly tip us over the edge. But thanks, Jeff.
Lovely.
No, we just, while we're still enjoying cruising, we'll still enjoy cruising, but we won't say never.
It's always,
You know,
it's a very,
yeah.
it's the way, isn't it? Yeah. And cost of living on board, I mean, do you find it cheaper than it was or more expensive, or how do you find the cost of living on board?
I don't care what anybody says, it's far cheaper living on a boat than it is living on land. We calculated it out, didn't we, not long ago. We're very frugal, aren't we? We don't run the engine day. So we've run our engine, this boat we've got now is 3 years old last month, and we run our engine for 1,000 hours. That equates to less than 1 hour a day. We hardly ever run the engine to produce power, do we? If we want power, we'll move the boat. I've lost my train of thought now, Francis.
But we still forage for wood for the fire.
Yeah.
When the fires are like we're cooking on the fire, so that we're saving gas. It's almost you can become a little bit obsessed with saving wood, with saving money on your fuel. But for us, we've kept it down really cheaply.
Yeah, this frugal way of living I was on about, we calculated that this was about 2 years ago when we did this calculation. We got everything down, the nitty gritty, everything we spend to do with the boat, not necessarily with food or clothing, etc. And it works out, this is 2 years ago, so things have changed. It worked out at £10 a day to live on a boat. That's once you've bought your boat, so you've got to spend that money first when you buy a boat. But it was £10 a day, and I don't think we're that far off that now.
No, I don't think we are. But it's almost, you get asked this a lot, how much does it cost to live on a boat? And it's almost an impossible question.
Yeah,
because it's just so dependent on your lifestyle and what you want to be doing and how you live.
Yeah, I suppose if you want more up outside the pub every night.
Yeah, well, that would be. It's a serious point, to be honest. If you like to, eat in the pub every night, then it's going to quadruple at least, isn't it?
And if you're not good with cold mornings and you've got the central heating running every 5 minutes and stuff like that, but we just don't. We've got slippers and socks.
That kind of answers the question, how do you heat your boat? Got that one done. And with you and the way you boat with the vlogging and all that sort of stuff, how easy is, how good is the mobile reception, Wi-Fi, all that sort of thing? How do you operate as vloggers on a boat in sometimes places where there is limited or no signal, I suppose?
This day and age, we're quite slaves to the internet, aren't we? And I get quite stressy, don't I? If we've moored up and we get the laptops out and there's no signal, and it wouldn't be the first time we've unmoored and moved the boat down the road, but it is important having the internet, and we don't have anything fancy other than a MiFi dongle dangling in the window on a clip that came with a set of underpants from Tesco's. That's what we use, and 90% of the time it's fine. Uploading videos does take a lot of the data, doesn't it? But and I did a real-time video last week, and it took 24 hours for it to upload to YouTube. So you have to be quite zen about it, that you will or you will not have internet signal.
I hope that's being recorded that you just said that.
I am very zen about it, friends.
We've got that.
There is an effing zen.
And we'll do one more of these, and then we'll open up. If there's anyone out there who's got a question, then please do start thinking about which one you want to ask. I think, have we got someone with a microphone out the back there? Or is it just me running around? It's me
Looks
running
like you, mate.
Yep, that would be the first time. And obviously there's the two of you living on board with the dogs and all that sort of thing. There must have been times, obviously, with frustration, but is there a time when you kind of think that you kind of sit it either into the boat or anything like that, or is it just?
No, it's first thing you have to know and realise is if you're a couple and you want to live on a narrowboat, you really got to love each other, because there's no way you will survive as a couple. You need your own space, and if you realise you need your own space, then that's not an issue, is it? You know, we both need our own space. And when you're cruising, you're driving the boat, I'll sometimes go and sit at the front of the boat. And it's important that you do, because sitting at the front of the boat is just so different to being at the back, isn't it? It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And you enjoy your yoga and your meditation, don't
that's
you?
another story, isn't it? Yoga on the narrowboat is another story. But yeah, I would go off to the bedroom and do meditation. You put your earphones on and listen to music. So we've never yet really got to a screaming point where we've got to get away from each other, have we? Have we?
Always at first.
Rich, just north. Has anyone got any questions out there? Put your hand up. Anyone? Over there, let's go. I'll be with you in 2 seconds.
Hi, Fran and Rich. We're just about to buy a boat, and we read a lot about CRT funding and how things are looking very dubious for the maintenance of canals. You've been on them for 6 years. Are you starting to notice any degradation, or are you concerned about what's going to happen over the next 3, 4, 5 years as money, it appears, is going to run dry?
Really concerned, to be honest. I can't say we've noticed a massive deterioration in the canal system, but we are starting to see it creak and groan a bit. I think we're paying what, £120 a month for our boats as a licence fee, and that's pretty cheap. And that is not even giving the canal, if I'm right, the Canal and River Trust 11% of their required funding, isn't it? The boaters' licence fees. So it's important that we support the Canal and River Trust, whatever you think of them, and we've all got our own impressions of them. But they're at the moment they're the only ones that are running the show, and we have to go along with it. But it is a concern, and if I'm getting political now, if you've got a bloody myopic government like we've got that's taken that funding away from something that is so pleasurable, not just to boaters, but for thousands of people up and down the country, what can I say? Anything else?
But there's so many people that are enjoying the canals. There's so many more boaters coming on. I can't see it collapsing. I just don't see that it's going to be allowed to, and it can happen. There's too many businesses that are revolving around the canals. So yeah, I mean, we've said that we wouldn't mind doing some fundraising for Canal and River Trust, because you don't actually see much fundraising going on. And we've actually thought about setting up ourselves whenever we're somewhere that's a popular venue, to get walkers and get cyclists to give a little bit as well towards it. I don't know if that's a drop in the ocean or not.
I do worry about Canal and River Trust's ability to market the system. It's so easy with technology these days to have a little QR code on a lock gate or on a bridge with an explanation saying, do you know how much it costs to run this canal? We've run this by them time and time again, but and I don't think the people who run on the canals and walk the canals and cycle the canals realise just who runs it and the funding that is no longer going to be available for it. So I think they'll just really think, oh, it's there, it's run by the government, blah blah. But I do think it is worrying, but I'm not going to lose sleep over it, because a couple of canals might close down in 10 years. I can't see them closing the canals into London now.
Yeah, some of the smaller ones might go. That's the way we feel it. Some of the smaller dead-end canals, we'll try and do all those while we can, because they might go in the next few years.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All the men in the room want to know, where did you get that?
I'm sorry, I can't disclose this.
I didn't weave it.
Sainsbury's, and since I bought it, there's 15% off, folks.
That's a bottle of. I noticed online the other day you've got your power bank. Your honest opinion on that? Is it an 1800 watt?
We don't have a power bank.
Do you not have a plug-in power bank on your phone?
No, we have been offered them before, but we've refused, because we've never, that I can think of, we've never vlogged anything that's been given to us like that.
Right, okay.
And we don't need one. We just feel that we don't need one. I'm sure that we would use it if we had it from time to time, but as you say, our power needs are so small. Our solar does it all for us.
So what sort of solar setup have you got?
There's these two black things on the roof. And there was a flicker switch inside.
Are they too
It worked. I think they're 240 somethings each.
We're not very
So
good.
you don't reckon?
Go to the Alton Lost stand and ask them.
I don't know what you've got on board.
I know we've got a 3 kilowatt inverter.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, we just that just goes over my head. Power, electricity. I've got not the slightest interest in it. So we've managed with the same batteries for 3 years.
Yeah.
And that's another testament to our frugality. I suppose.
Yeah.
We don't mind, if we have to, if we run out of power in the middle of winter, we'll just read a book or something.
Yeah, go back to that shirt. I thought that was when he painted it, which is.
Any more questions? Any more? Just a minute.
Fran Rich, welcome.
Thank you.
Would there be anywhere else outside of the UK canal system you might like to go down the River Rhine or something like that to see an extension of waterways?
You've travelled on French canals a little bit, haven't you?
Yeah, I have done. Yeah, I mean, possibly once we've done this and we're, we need to do something different, but we'd have to, obviously, there's no way that we're going across the channel, and I know boats have, narrowboats have, but we'd have to get the boat taken out and move over. And the problem is now that you can only stay for 3 months at a time, so it'd be a big expense to take the boat over when you can only stay for 3 months. So I don't know.
We did talk about Ireland, when we got fed up with these canals, we could get the boat shipped out to Ireland, because we can still live in Ireland, couldn't we? Permanently, so that might be interesting.
Yeah.
Time there.
He retired years ago.
That's it.
Okay, thanks very
Thank
much.
you.
Rich, you are. You sell both a very free website. Any plans to do canal side trading? Have you thought about that?
Yeah, that's something we've never done at the moment, because we've never had to, have we? But we were talking about it actually last night, or yesterday, when we were on the train actually, wasn't it? But we might just do some pop-up shops, when we're like in places like Stratford on Avon, where there's heaps of people walking past the boat, and make use of that traffic. Yeah.
I think we should, just start making smaller things for both of us, and
That means working, doesn't it?
you love it. You love it. You can't call creating artwork work.
No, it's just the selling stuff around it. We love creating what we make and then uploading it onto the website.
Yeah.
It's
It
sure,
takes us
isn't
a
it?
day. It takes me a day if I weave scarves to then get it on the website and hate it. I absolutely hate all that stuff. So I'd much rather make and just sell face to face. But yeah, we'll see. Well, I think
I think
later
it
this
will
summer
be,
we'll do
yeah.
a couple and see how it goes.
We'll announce it on Facebook,
Yeah.
the couple of days before where we'll be.
You've got your power usage as well. You're just selling it out with your phone rather than going to the internet.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Anything? Any other questions from around the room? One over there. Fine.
How do you cope with the pressure to create content daily? Do you have no camera days?
Yeah, I used to get really wound up by trying to get a video out every week, because we both do a bit of film. I do most of the filming. Fran does a little bit, don't you?
It's rubbish. My filming is rubbish.
It's lovely.
You can always see my filming because it goes like that. And
rubbish.
it's
But filming is really enjoyable. The editing isn't so enjoyable anymore because it takes such a long time. A 20-minute video will take 8 hours of editing, and then you've got to upload it, and then you've got to also go through all the hoops that Google want you to go through before you can put the video out there. But I don't feel any pressure anymore, because we don't put a video up anymore unless we've got something to say. We can't be putting one up every Thursday at 4 o'clock, because that's it.
No.
And we've got other things to do. We enjoy doing the videos. We enjoy seeing everybody enjoying the videos and the comments that come through. And I enjoy the creative process of editing and seeing the finished product, and putting the music in is something I really like doing. But no, we don't put ourselves under any pressure anymore to get a regular video. We might skip a few weeks. We might do one a week for the next 3 weeks, but
And it just, I mean, you do get times when you're just not in the mood to doing it,
No.
and there's just no point.
No.
It's like your health and our happiness is more important than getting a video out, which is going to earn us a few pennies. You know, it's more important to enjoy life.
I got up the other morning, didn't I? I said, oh, do you know what? I've got to get a video coming down the Shropshire Union. And I sat at the computer looking around the internet, and then next thing, and that was 1 o'clock, and I just shut the lid down and said, right, what are we doing now? I just didn't do it.
You can always tell when he doesn't want to do the video because he says, I'm going to just find some music for this video, and 4 hours later, he's still listening to music.
Yeah.
Because you love doing it.
Curled up in a corner, sobbing. No, good question, thank you.
Don't stop doing them because obviously everyone seems to enjoy them. But yeah, I think they'll be more periodical. rather than-
Definitely won't stop doing videos, never. We started soon from day one, more or less, didn't it? It was 6 years ago we started doing the videos. And yeah, and at the end of the day, I have to be honest, it earns us a living. You know, Google doesn't pay a huge amount for us to do it. We have patrons that help us, you know, along the way because that's what they want to do. We don't go asking for money or anything, but it's there. But the money that Google gives us puts diesel in the tank, doesn't it? And it just allows us to keep going.
And without that, we'd have to get work. We'd have to get work
Yeah.
elsewhere. We'd
You'd have to get a job.
Yeah, would I?
That was a bit awkward quickly. Any other questions out there? One on the back, you've got one there? Oh, be with you.
Hello there.
Yeah.
When you watch Under Deck on the telly, hands always on the left. As you say, when you do your videos, do you have one on the left and one on the right?
Do we? I don't know. I think we do swap it around, don't we?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm more or less at the front of the camera all the time, aren't I? So.
Yeah, and it depends on the where the microphone is because I tend to shout as well. So
I think when we're talking on the back of the boat when we're cruising, you're invariably driving, aren't you? Because I'm backwards and forwards messing around with the camera. But no, I haven't even thought about that. Now I'll think about it. And who's out on deck anyway?
Yeah, you were really brave, I think, talking about your mental health on your video. Do you think it's been better for your mental health, Rich, living on a boat compared to living on land?
No, frankly. I think in the depths of winter, that's when I'm really at my lowest. And I'll wait for him to finish. I don't like talking about it, to be honest, but when I put that video out, I was on such a downer, such a low, wasn't I? It was the longest I'd ever been depressed for a long, long time. And we talked about it, and I said, should I put a video up and talk to people about it? Because I hadn't put a normal travel log video up. And I guess people were asking us, weren't they, when you put a video? So I thought, no, I will do it. And I made the video, which is only 5 minutes long. And it sat on the computer for 2 or 3 days before I put it up. And the one thing most people have asked today, being here, is about that video.
yeah. But I think it did help you because it took the pressure off having to make another video, which was contributing to your state of mind, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So once that was out there and everybody knew there's no videos for a bit, you were freed up.
But it resonated with so many people because the comments just we had more comments on that than anything for so long, and they're still coming through, aren't they?
Yeah.
And I can't answer them. You've been answering a lot of them because I can't keep going through into that space.
What it's brought to light is that how many people either know how you feel or they're a partner of somebody that gets like that, and it's almost everybody that has got a little hint of what it's like.
I don't think it's any worse living on a boat or any better living on a boat. I just think it's there, and it will always will be there for whatever reason. And I guess I'll just live with it. But I'm having a good time.
Yeah.
And I think that's a very positive way to finish it. So thank you very much, Richard and John.